Coach, thanks so much for joining us a couple minutes early. If you're ready to go, we are as well. If you just give us your thoughts coming off the open week, and we expect to see Thursday as you get back at it against Navy, please.
Yeah, we had a good off week, a little non-traditional. We're playing on Thursday night, so we've had to have some unique scheduling for the week. So we gave the older guys the travel team off Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then we had some practices, kind of like spring ball with some of our younger players, our developmental guys, and then I had a good practice Thursday and Friday. Then went out recruiting Friday afternoon and Friday evening. Got a really good recruiting class going. And then, good Tuesday practice yesterday and a Wednesday practice today. So, we have great respect for Navy and what they've done, as a program. And, excited to, get back on the field on ESPN on Thursday night.
We'll take questions for Coach Collins, please. *1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
And we'll take our first question from Mark Narducci with the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Geoff, I don't know. How you doing? Don't know if you're ready to announce this, but I'm just figuring, do you know who your quarterback's going to be this week?
Yeah, it'll be Frank.
Okay. Is Logan available at all, or is he still there?
Not really. He's not 100%. So, maybe in an emergency he can come in, but it'll be Frankie's show on Thursday night.
How about? I know you're getting asked a lot about the triple options of both teams. How similar are they, and are there a lot of big differences in them?
Yeah, there are some differences. They're a little more of a perimeter game. Navy is they do a lot more things formationally than Army did. So Army, whenever they would do some unique formations, would change personnel. So you knew those formations were coming. But Navy keeps the same personnel in the game: 2 slots, 2 receivers, and a fullback. But still gives you, the same kind of complicated formations. You just don't know when they're coming. So they do a really good job. A lot of misdirection. And Army had prided itself on not really throwing the ball ever. Navy, the quarterback has a really strong arm. The receivers are very, very talented, and their slot backs do a nice job catching the ball and being able to get open as well. So you've got to defend the whole field, and you've got to defend the vertical passing game as well. Against Army, I thought we defended the option really well. The thing that got us was the passing game. So going into this one against Navy, we've got to make sure we're tightened up on all the misdirection and the play actions off of everything.
Thank you.
And we'll now take our next question from Sean Pastor with Owls Daily.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Geoff. Was just curious about your reaction to Coach McElwain's departure, and just how that hits you in the face about the reality of where college football and the coaching world is right now.
Sure, I'm very close with Coach Mack. It goes back to our relationship all the way back to 2007, 2008. And I think the world of him. I think the world of his family. And then obviously I've got a ton of friends on that coaching staff. And obviously all those players, I have I have a deep affection for all of those players as well. So, anytime something happens to somebody that you really care about, or a whole group of people that you really care about, it does affect you. I don't know all the ins and outs, but, all I can do is just, keep my thoughts and my prayers, with the people that are involved down there.
Okay. And about your team, I just wanted to ask, given the extra time this week, how much you sort of looked at special teams area and whether what you might, what could change or be done better.
Sure.
Because you've had some issues there occasionally.
Right. Yeah. The thing that we do whenever we make, changes to some personnel or move some people around on the special teams depth chart whenever we have meetings, we label all the changes in blue. And when we got ready for that Thursday morning practice, there was a lot of blue on the sheet, and some of those were just moving some guys around to get them, better fits for what they can do size and speed wise. and others were just, flat out changes to who's going to be the, the starters, who's going to be the backup. So we've looked at everything. And then we've had several special team circuits and a lot of emphasis in each one of our practices on special teams as well.
Okay, thanks.
And a few other questions for Coach Collins, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad, if so. Will people join in lately? So more in? I'll throw the next one out if I may. Then the question came up with Coach Niumatalolo from Navy. Is there anything you can take away from last year's championship game between Temple and Navy? Is there any similar anything that carries over into this year's game, or is that too far removed with too many players?
No, obviously. Sure. Obviously, we've watched that game. We actually watched that game, last year's championship game when we were getting ready for Army as well. And, the really good players that were on last year's defense and offense. And then just, the things that we've done, some new guys have come in and stepped up for us and done a nice job. So just having them have that speed of the game against Army, especially on defense, there were a lot of new players that hadn't really played that full speed. So having that, under our belt a little bit, but they've got a good program and a good team.
Great, thank you. We did have a couple more come in, if you don't mind.
Okay.
And we'll now take our next question from Bill Wagner with the Baltimore Sun Media Group.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Coach. Hey, just wanted to kind of get a gauge for, obviously there's been a lot of change since last year. Temple lost considerable talent, a lot of NFL guys from that championship team, and then obviously a coaching change. But just, kind of tell me how it's been for you to come in, and obviously the season hasn't gone quite as well as you had won. But, with just the transition period and how things, the adjustment and whatnot.
Sure, yeah. Obviously, everybody knew going into the season that, we had a small senior class. We had a lot of young guys and a lot of first-year starters playing for us. But every single week they've gotten better. The team that rolled out against Notre Dame and the team that played against Army, we've gotten significantly better every single week. 3 of our losses, were one-score games. And a lot of those happen with making some young guy mistakes. So we just got to correct those, learn from those. The senior leadership has been good, and we've also, during the open week, challenged some of our juniors and sophomores that are now playing a ton for us and playing at a really high level to step up and to, help our small senior class leadership-wise. So they've accepted that challenge, and they've done a great job with it. Our young linebacker core has some really good leaders in it, and so they've done a nice job. And just finding, making sure we're doing everything we can, to not make critical mistakes in key moments during the game. I think our SID put together a stat that, the last 3 games we've outgained our opponents by like 500 and something yards. But we just gotta, even though we're moving the ball up and down the field, once they get in the red zone, we've got to stop them. Once we get to the red zone, we've got to get points. And then we can't do anything penalty-wise or turnover-wise to hurt ourselves, to play a complete football game. Even though we're stopping people and even though we're moving the ball up and down the field, just some of those critical mistakes at inopportune times are some things that have hurt a young football team. And we'll get better, and these guys are really working hard together.
Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely.
And we'll take our next question from Mark Narducci with the Philadelphia Choir.
Coach,
hey, Mark.
I forgot to ask, how you doing? I forgot to ask you, has the week off been good for all the healing of your injuries because you've been so banged up?
Yeah, we had 7 starters out against the Army. I think we're getting a couple of them back. I'm going to wait until this afternoon to get a full rundown from, our athletic training staff. But we're hoping to get a couple of guys back for the game. And hopefully there's not any new ones that have popped up since after the really physical Army game.
Okay, thank you.
Coach, thanks so much for giving us a few minutes today. Look forward to hearing from you again next Monday.
Absolutely. Thanks, bud.